Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're off.
Seems that Mega Man shoot it out of the sky, so we're gonna start with Flash and Kuumba is going straight to Metal.
Kuumba having a little bit of choppiness on his stream, but we'll still be able to at least track him. Meanwhile, seeing like barnowl just gonna cruise on with Flashman, which is one of the easier starting points in doing rando races. It's either usually him or Quickman that's usually an easy starting point.
Yeah, you see Barnowl testing the walls there early, first thing. So no buster on these walls.
Now, when exactly that will help him in future, I think, Y4. And Kuumba taking the safety route, I think that's even more safe because Metal, in general, has two E-tanks, and you can pick up those two and feel free to do whatever after.
I guess before we continue on, before they reach their respective bosses, we should talk about what the Mega Man 2 Rando basically is. Of course, it says on the tin it's a randomizer in Mega Man 2. But what does it randomizes? Well, aside from the color and the music that you hear right now, it randomizes enemies, it randomizes the bosses stage that you're going to wind up going to, the bosses AI and their weaknesses. It randomizes the damage from the bosses and the enemies for given weapons. It really much randomizes quite a bit. As you can see, we got Metal Man in Flashman's room. Meanwhile, if we can see Kuumba's stream for a little bit, we're about to find out what Kuumba has, as Barnowl easily dispatches a Metal Man.
Oh, he has a bubble which seems to be weak to Buster, and then we still don't know if that's a huggable bubble, but bubble in particular is not a hard boss to take out, and Kuumba fares with it really well.
Yeah, Barnow's gonna find item 3 as well, coming out of Flash. So as soon as I see item 3, I usually go to He-Man stage, but we're going quick, staying with the early game boss order tactics.
And he even takes the safety life, so he will take two lives on this level. That's cool. That's actually a no many percent strat. If you're not sure if you're gonna die or whatever, just take both of the lives to ensure your run continues smoothly.
Yeah, pretty much a good decision for safety. You don't know what, especially for a randomizer, you don't know what's gonna come your way. You don't know what obstacles gonna wind up making certain platforming harder. So getting any extra lives that you can will probably be pretty wise in order to not get yourself into a game over situation and probably set yourself back quite a bit.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen on the Airman, dude. Airman can be really tricky, and those guys, the good runners that they are, they're never prepared for Airman.
Well, Kuumba seemed to following suit on Barnowl, as Kuumba is also traversing Flashman stage. He's about to come across the metal fight as well. Barnow's going cleanly through the laser section in Quickman's arena, but we're about to find out what boss is about to be in Quickman's room. It may or may not be harder depending on what boss he gets, since he has to still deal with quick boss room shenanigans.
Yeah, also those two arenas that are the Flash and the Quick arenas, you see those bumps on the arena? They make the normal fights really hard sometimes. That's why they're the first stages as well. And Barnowl has a really calm clash, it seems.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't necessarily see who was on Kuumba's screen, but I did see when he went for that E-tank, he went and checked the wall for bubbles. So bubble will not be the wall weakness either. Either one.
Yeah, Kuumba just follows suit on Barnowl with the Flash, so he ended up fighting Metal as well. So there were really nothing different in Kuumba's stream until now, because he's about to go to Woodman. I'm almost thinking that because he has item 3, he might be doing quick list item 3 good wood, because you can do the good woods just with item 3, And although you can use quick boomerangs to make the Goodwood zips easier, you can also use Buster in a near frame perfect setup to do Goodwoods on top of the ladders. So we're gonna see what Kuma's about to do in a little bit.
Right
Yeah,
on,
he cannot do, sadly, because he doesn't have item 1, he cannot do dog scrolls, but he goes for the quick mini zip on the dogs. Meanwhile, Barno is on utilizing the heat, charged heat, to clear the enemies at Airman. It seems that Airman isn't too hard this time.
Yeah, he has some M544s, those Metroids, that they can be some roadblocks, but there are definitely worse enemies that could have been in his way. So for right now, this is a pretty tame airman, as Kuumba is doing the Goodwood strat I was talking to you about just not too long ago.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Kuumba has heat or not. So
Heat actually isn't needed to complete Goodwood. Heat only accelerates your respawn rate after you die. You do the dipped warp. If you release heat after your death, you accelerate your respawn time. The black screen you have to wait for, it disappears and you're right at the spawn point.
And it looks like Kuumba has completed his quickless Goodwood, so props to him. Using Buster to set up Goodwood isn't easy because it requires a near frame perfect input of going down the ladder and firing the Buster at the same time, which allows you to push your sprite up on top of the ladders and into a ceiling, which initiates the zip in the first place.
Yeah, that's really tricky without quick boomerang. I should probably say now that I had big troubles even with boomerang, so this is amazingly hard. And meanwhile, Barno clears Woodman, which was on Airman stage. And Kuumba gets item 1 on Wood, so he has all the items now, which guarantees him a smooth sailing for the rest of the levels.
Actually, I think I remember seeing Kuumba using item 2 in the beginning of the Woodman stage, and since he's defeated Metal, I'm almost assuming that Metal Man is also holding out item 2. So I think we found where all our items are held in this particular seed.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky from Kuumba, and he seems to have a slowly escalating or some kind of static item 1, I cannot tell. But he forfeits the first zip on heat and continues normally. And meanwhile, Barno with this charge heat will gonna dispatch those dogs fairly quickly.
Yeah, he's found charge heat works pretty well for him through some of these stages, so it's good to see him utilize it.
Just loving the music, using in Woodman stage. Some Guilty Gear, some Blue Water Blue Sky. Like for those that wonder where the music tracks come from, majority of them come from Mega Man ROM hacks, particularly 1 and 2, since they share similar sound fonts. But aside from ROM hacks and aside from vanilla Mega Man 2, you also got a few other classic Capcom games. Of course, Mega Man 1, you also got Bionic Commando and Legendary Wings also. So, a pretty good assortment of music. Over 100 tracks can be chosen in total, so very varied in terms of what music you might be hearing.
Kuumba, after the I3 zip, I trigger zip, he goes and fights Heatman now, but it's hard to tell, but I think he's gonna defeat him. Meanwhile, Barno is almost at the end of Wood, still utilizing, I think he likes this Heatman weapon, and it serves him well. I think rarely the enemies think off of it, so he'll use it a lot.
So we got Airman and Woodman stage. Of course, we already saw that on a Kuumba stream, so had a little bit of trouble dodging the tornado shots. as we mentioned, a feature of the randomizer is that boss AI patterns are randomized as well. And Kuma's trying those item 1 zips in Crash.
Yeah, that was I think a test zip, enhanced test zip, which is I think if it's a static item, it's pixel perfect. Creed may give a proper info, but I think if it's static, it's pixel perfect, so it's a really hard zip. And barnowl defeats Sherman. He had to use his last E-Tank though. Things are getting interesting, and he's going bubble.
Yeah, that's exactly the zip I wanted to see from Kuumba. I'm trying to borrow that in my gameplay. Can't quite get it myself, but Kuumba's got it really well. Oh,
Barnowl taking an unfortunate death. The crabs blocking him from a jump. The crabs are actually one of the rougher spawns that you can get in these kinds of free air type areas where there are pitfalls and such. Although they can be easily be manipulated in some ways, if you get a little bit too arrogant, a little too gung-ho, you can wind up getting yourself knocked into pits just like Barnowl did just a few moments ago.
now I'm not sure if you two guys caught that, but I saw Kuumba at the top of that ladder before the final climb here. He put an item 1 and he actually zipped. It was really hard to see.
That's a swag zip of Clash. It doesn't serve any purpose, but it's really cool if you can do that. It's a little bit of swag here and there. Kuumba shows off, I'm sure, but yeah, Barnowl, I don't saw if Barnowl did the bubble, if any of you guys saw.
Didn't quite see it, but right now he's still just trekking along smoothly enough after dying and still continuing his trek towards the Bubble Man's boss room. While Kuumba struggled a little bit on the crash climb.
You know, I want to assume Barnowl did get the zip because I believe I remember hearing the pause buffers. I was looking at Kuumba's screen at the time. And also, seems a little far along for that section.
And Barnowl is taking it really safe, even stopping for that frog. I can see him being scared, but that can change. He will pull through, and a nasty flash that insta flashes him. And again, this flash man is pretty annoying.
Meanwhile, it looks like Kuumba's dispatching Quickman in Crash's room, so it's actually right now it's still pretty heated and pretty close right now. Probably about a Robot Master behind, or probably around the same Robot Masters. Assume after Barnowl beats Flash.
Yeah, and the chat is saying that Barnowl did get the bubble zip. Yeah, these guys are pretty neck and neck. I believe both getting out of their 5th Robot Masters and going into their 6th. Pretty close race here.
And Kuumba does a really late Quickman, and they're on the same robo. Actually, Kuumba is a bit ahead, so the race is really close, maybe 20-30 seconds apart from each other. So now Barnowl will take the safety yanks that Kuumba did before. I don't know if he has any items that will help him out, but I'll assume he got item 1. Yeah, he'll try the zip. Meanwhile, Kuumba does his easy quick. Let's hope he fares well.
Yeah, having to deal with the stress trying to prevent Barnowl from actually zipping, and realizing that the item 1 really isn't that good for zipping. So he's gonna forego trying to do the metal zipping, go through Metal Man's stage casually, and takes a death from the shrimps.
Actually, that's a really cool zipless strat using flash to stop those conveyor belts, because in the vanilla game there are crushers there instead of enemies. And you stop the belts and continue. That's a very old strat. So I understand his meanings, but you can't pause when you use flash. So he would have to take a death.
Anyway, Kuumba finishing the force beam section on his way to Quickman's boss room, where he's about to take on Crash Man. Looks like he's getting some health making sure he's good and prepared to fight Crashman in his room, which didn't seem like he was all that aggressive, at least for this particular seed.
Now I think it was vanilla. AI doesn't shoot more than one clash and doesn't jump more than usual, so he should have no issues. Meanwhile, Barnowl is having some issues here, but slowly but surely he's progressing. I'm sure he will progress well, and he's still utilizing that heat.
He's literally hot-blooded, pretty much fully committed to using the atomic fire for majority of his run. Well, when you're able to one-shot a whole bunch of enemies with the atomic fire, you're pretty much going to use it as its go-to. But one of the things you got to remember, it looks like it has a high energy consumption, so he's going to need to be mindful of how many atomic fires he can use at some point. He may actually lose time trying to keep getting weapon refills, trying to keep the atomic fire up.
Yeah, that's a real thing because of the randomizer. It randomizes ammo consumption and weapon charge. For instance, this charge heat can charge really slow or really fast or be completely charged, so you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. So he saw that heat is stronger, and now he will try to fish for a boss weakness, which in this case is bubble.
Meanwhile, Kuumba traverses the airman stage, which be determined to be not a little bit of awkward item 2 placement, especially with the birds flying overhead. We were saying that it was a generally smoothish airman as a whole, and then Kuumba decides to prove me wrong for some reason. Good job, Kuumba. Thanks for making me a liar.
Well, he tried, because I also do sometimes this item too, but when there are no birds and crabs, because it's really dangerous sometimes. I understand, because item 2 on air is really fast.
Hopefully Barnowl will, well, since we know that item 1 is not that good for zipping, it looks like he's going to be one of the ones that are probably going to have a really hard time in crash stage. Well, hang on, he might be still trying it. It might still be good enough to try to zip through. But if he can't make this zip, he's going to have a really rough time in the moving platform section.
I think it's zippable by the normal crash zip, but it's really tight. So if he can't clear those shrimps on the bottom screen, it will be a really tough time for him doing the zip. He will probably lose a lot of time doing this, but, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's Mega Man.
Or maybe there might be a setup from the left side, but...
Well, regardless of the matter, Barnowl forgoes trying to do the zips, which is going to make his moving platform section really rough because there are going to be shrimps on the way. Remember, for those that are unfamiliar with the randomizer, there are certain tells that you can make in certain stages, Crashman being one of the most notable. If you look at the first screen of Crashman stage, as soon as you enter the stage, the first enemies you see are more than likely going to be the same enemies you see here in the moving platform section. And what Barnowl saw immediately were shrimps. So if you see shrimps in the first room of Crash, this is what you're going to get. And as you can see, shrimps are not fun in this area.
Exactly, and shrimps being one of the worst possible cases doing this climb normally. He's struggling really hard, as you can see, but he's trying to use flash, leaf, anything that can shoot vertically to clean those. He uses all his flash because he could not climb this normally, but now that he does, he will continue, let's hope, normally, and Kuumba uses item 2 to kind of get to the bubble door.
Yeah, it seems like Kuumba's probably going to be the first to reach the Wally stages. Barnow's not too far behind. He's probably about 2/3 of the way done. He's still got his final his final crash climb on his way to the Crashman room to fight Quickman. Meanwhile, Kuma is about to fight Flashman in Bubble Room.
Yeah, and these robot masters are no joke. If someone thinks, yeah, this guy go into the room and just clear those robot masters with 1, 2, 3, those robot masters can be really nasty and kill you without any problems. You just have to make one mistake and go out of position. So yeah, Randomizer is really punishing sometimes.
Yes, yes it is. And Kuumba looks like he's gonna get the kill on Flashman in Metal's arena. So I believe that's his A, is it?
Yes.
It's his eighth. Yes, it's definitely his eighth.
And I think now is the time for us to start our mini game. That's what's the color of the dragon and how do you fare? What's your color, Creed and Charlie?
I'm gonna go with brown. I still have yet to see a brown dragon.
Well, I'm gonna stick with my tried and true monochrome. I still want to see another monochrome dragon, and I'm pretty sure I know what you want, Prodigy.
Yeah, I want the Yu-Gi-Oh dragon, Blue Eyes White Dragon, because there are a lot of dragons there, but the Blue Eyes, I want 3. I already got 1. So, and I think I saw your monochrome dragon in one of my seeds, Creed. So I should have saved that one and gave it to you.
Oh, how sweet. I wish you would have said something. Oh, Barnowl still hadn't done Heatman yet, so he still stays behind. So Kuumba is definitely has at least a stage edge on Barnowl as he traverses what actually is a pretty docile Heatman, at least in comparison to what he could be.
Oh, I thought this was his last robo. Seems that he kind of goes slow, I think, on one of his stages. So he will have to do this without zipping the first zip. But if he can do item 3, he can make some time, I think.
Well, assuming we can get a good visual on Kuumba's stream, we're about to find out what our dragon is. So Kuumba, please, try to work with us on the stream. Let us see our dragon. We want to see if he gets wrong.
Meanwhile,
Barnowl does do his item 3 zip.
Seems like an ice cream dragon again. Some sort of ice cream.
Well, doesn't matter if we're wrong.
Did someone win in chat? I guess not. There is some pink guess, but that's not the color. Oh god.
All I know is I'm wrong and I'm sad. Regardless of the matter, Kuumba uses the Quick Boomerang, which is one of the 2 weaknesses available for the dragon. Quick Boomerang being one of the vanilla weaknesses, so yeah. Vanilla dragon. Good job, gang.
Yes, sir. Another quick boomerang is gonna take out that dragon, that yellow dragon.
Meanwhile, Barnowl finishes his 8, so he'll join Kuumba on Wily 1, I think. Yeah, Wily 1.
Well, assuming we can keep track of Kuumba's PowerPoint, we'll be able to see if he decides to check for wall weaknesses in Wally 2, which is usually one of the main stages where one will actually seek to figure out what the walls are weak to. Assuming we can actually see what they're weak to.
Yeah, assuming we can see, we know by this time that it's not Booster and it's not Bubble, it's not Metal as well. But yeah, seems Kuumba's stream is freezing a lot, and we can actually see what Barnowl has to deal with. That's shrimps and Metroids.
It looks like Air Shooter is actually confirmed to be the weakness, so the PowerPoint's still coming through for us somehow.
Yeah, and the audio, well, on his, oh man, our commentary coast, the audio? How did that happen? I just need to not talk.
Streaming 8-bit games in 218 is sometimes hard. Well, we'll go give Kuumba some slack. He said he has some problems. So, yeah. He's going to his Pico Pico fight. He'll have to fish for some weaknesses and see how he deals with Pico, actually. Meanwhile, Barnowl is doing his climb. He actually decides to use item 3 for his climb, which accelerates ladder climbing a lot.
Yeah, I believe that's a 5-hit Pico from quick boomerang, if I'm hearing correct.
Yep, yes it is. I mean, not boobing, but Pico being weak in general to 3 weapons. Right now, it just seems like quick boomerang is the most accessible of the ones he probably tried, unless he just did quick boomerang immediately. Otherwise, quick boomerang is not a bad weapon to have for a weakness.
Yeah, not really. Sometimes when it's really powerful, you can take Pico real fast. Otherwise, about the fishing, I think he switched 2 times. At least my sound cue was that. From top to bottom and picked quick, and that worked for him. So GG, he'll go to Wily 3. And meanwhile, Barnowl, he's loving that heat. I'll give him that. He tries heat instantly.
Well, while Kuumba continues on Wily 3, looks like Barnowl finds Leaf Shield as the other dragon weakness aside from quick boomerangs. Meanwhile, Wily 3, at least it has tolerable enemies, but they the shotmen seem to be Buster immune.
R.I.P. Barnowl taking a hit from the fireball. He was a little bit too far back. That's going to cost him to get 30 seconds to a minute.
I believe it's more, but that doesn't matter because this fight can be really tricky if you don't fish fast. And fishing fast, I mean shoot 1 time and continue to fish. If you don't find the weapon fast enough, you get out of position easily. It's hard to keep up yourself up there, so I can understand his death. At least I die commonly there because of this.
Well, unfortunately, as a result, it still pretty much results in extending Kuma's lead as he finally faces the Guts tank, completing Wily 3, and it looks like it's Buster Week. We got a Buster Week Guts tank. For those that aren't familiar with the randomizer, the Wily bosses has a 50% chance of being Buster Week. So if one of the things that you're probably gonna wind up doing first is to see if any Wily boss is weak to Buster. It saves time just by not trying to fish for what randomized weakness you may have, and it also saves on energy depending on what the weapon consumption is for a given weakness weapon.
Yeah, that's right, Creed, and they need desperately that energy on Wily 4 and refights, so they'll gladly take a Buster Week, any boss or anything in that matter.
Ooh, I think Barnowl fell again, unfortunately.
Yeah, he seems to find that Leaf is some sort of a weakness for the dragon, but if the leaf, because it's a randomizer leaf, shooting directions can be reversed. And he must turn right to shoot left, which is very tricky, especially on a dragon fight. So I'll give him props for finding the weapon and trying. It's just really hard. And Kuumba is gonna go to the 4 spike section in Wily 4.
Kuumba was trying to do ladder zipping like he did in Woodman stage, but wasn't able to convert, so he just decided to just walk through that small little corridor on his way to the moving platforms section of Wily 3. Meanwhile, Barnowl is trying to get back to the dragon, but he's low on leash shield. He's probably going to have to fish for the next weakness, which is quick boomerangs. So hopefully he'll find that out very soon.
Yeah, I think he's trying to farm for some item weakness.
Oh, yes, right. He had to use a lot of items to even get up there, so he's going to be fishing for weapon energy just to refill his items.
He needs 1 more drop to actually have 3 item once in order to get to the ladder. Oh, okay, he got the last drop, and Kuumba actually safely travels through the spike section of Wily 4 and opts for the I3 zip, which is wiggle heavy. Well, that will bring him to the fight. Oh, and he does it! And he enters the bull bean with a wiggle zip. Good job from Kuumba.
It looks like they aren't weak to Metal Blaze and Leaf Shield, which is usually one of the primary easy candidates for Boo Beam, since if you know how to work your weapons, you don't have to destroy the walls. But it seems like Bubbler is the weakness for the Boo Beam cannons.
Yeah, this time around, runners will have to take the hard way home, meaning they'll have to destroy a majority of the walls to actually defeat Boo Beam, which Kuumba does because he already knows it's air shooter, and he completes the Boo Beam as well. And Barnowl gets his 4th attempt at the dragon. Let's hope he's careful this time.
Really committed to those leaf shields, especially since they're reversed. Anyway, Kuumba's about to go through the refights. He is really at this point Kuumba's race to lose. If there's really at this point little reason to expect him to lose any more time for him to literally lose the race. He probably had the game over quite a bit of times for Barnowl to catch up, who actually finally, Leaf Shield in tow, beats the Mecha Dragon and goes on to Wily 2.
Good job from Barnowl, and that's a very good time from Kuumba. That's a potential 36, I think, close to 30, 35 time, which is really good. And he knows some of the weaknesses, as you can see, because when they fight some of the robos on the previous stages, they actually test some weapons, so they eliminate some of the possibilities for vulnerabilities and weaknesses, so they can use that on refights.
Yeah, definitely good stuff to Barnowl, making it through the dragon. He's on item 2, making his way across this chasm, and Wily 2 now. Gonna scoop up this E-Tank, Kuumba, and the quick refight at the moment, making his way to the machine and then the alien, which there's another mini game a few of us play. Guess the color of the alien. It usually has a different color head than body, but not all. What do you guys think about this alien that's coming up soon?
Well, considering this bubble is red, I will choose the alien to be green as the background. No logic there. Don't search for it. Has none.
To be fair, I don't really think much about the alien head and body, but I guess since I'm being forced into it, I'm gonna guess. Let's say purple body, green head, because why the crap not?
I like it. I'm gonna go with yellow body, orange head.
Oh, you go for the ice cream alien again.
Yes, sir.
Just don't make the mistake to lick that alien, because alien contact deals 20 damage. It's really, really costly and can kill a runner really fast.
Yeah, I never want to hug the alien. Not a good idea. Extraterrestrials, I don't know, man.
Meanwhile, Barnowl fights Pico Pico and finds out that his tried and true charge heat is also one of the weaknesses. It's probably the strong weakness, as it one-shots the Pico Picos, but he's not going to have enough to kill them all.
Ooh, Wily and the watermelon machine. I like it.
And our watermelon machine is Buster Week. It looked like Licia was the third weakness for Pico Pico as well, but it takes 2 hits to kill. So for Pico Pico, we find that it's Quick Boomerang, Leaf Shield, and Atomic Fire for the 3 weaknesses.
Yeah, this time we seem to figure everything for the seed, and Kuumba will not do the zip because of these items, so he'll have to take the walk of Walk of, I'd say these are blood drops.
And just call it walk of shame is always easier and always safest to say.
Ah, come on, Cray, dude. I didn't want to say that.
I'm not ashamed to. I have no shame and no regrets in me.
No, when I'm playing Mega Man, I have no shame at all at anything I do.
Anyway, it looks like we got a pink head and an aqua blue body for an alien. Interesting colors.
Seems that we're really bad at our guesses today. We didn't guess any color at all.
Kuumba's not doing good on his weapon guesses, though. It looks like... Is it charge heat? It looks like charge heat's gonna be the weak... No, it's not charge heat. What is the weakness for this alien? And for some reason, Kuumba decides to use Flash because why not?
Just the old Clint Eastwood stare-off. Just have your pistols ready.
For the record, no Wily boss is weak to Flash.
Although that would be pretty interesting to see. But
Kuumba is having a hard time figuring out what the weakness is. What is this alien's weakness?
There is a mechanic in the randomizer. If it's heat, and you do not do a fully charged heat, you will heal the alien to full HP. So he probably messed something up really hard.
But I think that's a general mechanic for all the weapons. All the weapons, I think, refills refills the alien's HP. Pretty sure that's vanilla.
They think not in vanilla in here. They think off and then they don't heal him. But oh, he dies at the alien. Well, that's awkward. Well, Barnowl, here we go, Barnowl. Let's go.
Yeah,
It's gonna take a lot of deaths for Kuumba to actually put himself in a losing position, but if he really struggles this hard to find out what the weakness is, this could be a really improbable comeback for Barnowl.
Oh, come on, Kuumba, don't get hit by those. I think he knows it's bubble because he refilled his bubble for some reason.
yeah, he's got to find the weakness to the alien in order to complete the game. And it is charged heat.
Yes, because I was in this situation as well. Like being in a really good pace, trying charge heat, missing a shot, and healing the alien to full. So sometimes this happens. GG's to Kuumba for completing the race at his time is 38:26 on the timer. Official SRO is 38:29.
Very nice. GG's to Kuumba indeed. He's gonna take match 1. Uh-oh. Barnow's gonna meanwhile damage boost off the Fat Fan, making his descent on Wily 4 toward the boo beams.
Yeah, he's doing it really safely, really safely. He doesn't want to die again. He got a lot of deaths on I think Dragon, so he's going careful now. No commentator's curse, please.
You gotta kind of wonder where if he would have took those extra deaths on the dragon, because up to then they were pretty even. I think he might have been a stage behind whenever he got to the dragon.
Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of have some rules here that Creed stated in chat. Because these runs are randomized and the seeds are randomized, we forbid watching to the runners. We forbid the runners to watch the stream, chat, and whatever that may cause spoilers to them completing the race faster.
Yeah, this tournament is for fun, but we still gotta remember that this is still a competition of sorts. Even though Kuumba was ahead, we still don't want any kind of
outside interference in the match.
Thank you. I was trying to get the words out of my mouth, but I got tongue-tied.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter who is ahead and what runner is ahead and who is the runner even. You just have to play fair like everybody else. And no commentary curse this time. Good job to barnowl for defeating the booby, completely annihilating it. So he doesn't know it's heat. I guess he will have some troubles as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that fight with the alien.
Yeah, barnowl actually really isn't doing that badly. He's actually working at a pretty solid time right now, especially for a guy that really hadn't been around the Mega Man 2 randomizer for quite some time. Just not coming back to it within a few days and learning all the new stuff that the randomizer has pretty much brought out.
Exactly. He came like a week before asking me about various strats, zips. So let's count him as new. He is not new, but let's count him as new. His PB is 40 minutes, I think. So he's doing pretty well for himself, actually. It never hurts to PB in a race, you know. It's just even more satisfying doing that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Didn't you guys have a little exhibition match the other day and he PB'd in it? Prodigy?
Yeah, he PB'd hard. It was, let's say, amazingly easy seed. Like every robo was easy. He got 40, 30, I think. He was very satisfied. And the reason he got 40, I think, is because Crash was hiding weapon item 1. And we couldn't go any faster. I was at 35, he was at 40, but he was really good. He died, I think, once or twice. So, yeah, he's performing really well right now for his pace.
Anyway, it looks like barnowl is halfway done with his refights on the Robot Masters. Coming shortly to our Buster Week machine. Still not doing too bad. We still can keep a good eye on barnowl and wish him good luck as he continues to finish.
Yeah, that's correct. As he takes out the slow burn heat, as like they call him, the slowest version of Heat Man.
Indeed, that's a solid 46, 47 pace for him, considering he doesn't die to the alien. So that's really good for him. I'm happy he's doing these races in this fashion.
Barnowl finally finishing his 8th refight, about to take on our watermelon machine, as our Charlie boy so eloquently called it.
Oh yeah, it looks great. It looks delicious. I'm hungry.
Seems that he cracked the melon open and used an E-tank for safety, just that bonus safety.
Yeah, not a bad idea. He's gonna make it out of the machine at 45-26. On the way to the alien to wrap this one up. And assuming he checks the order he's been checking in, his charged heat that he's been going with most of the seed will do him some good. And indeed, he does fill up charged heat.
And bubble, so yeah. There is a very old zipless strat. It's kind of stupid, but I like it. Here in Rando, using flash in this hallway before the alien, but probably he doesn't have flash if he doesn't use it, so yeah, he'll have to wait for those blood drops.
So since we didn't necessarily see it on Kuumba's stream, we're about to actually figure out what the alien was weak to. We're assuming charged heat. Oh yeah, it's charged heat.
Yeah, it's fully charged heat, yeah.
The Barnowl was partially redeemed for his constant uses of heat and rewarded for charged heat weakness for the Wally alien, which ends his time and has an official SRL time of 47 minutes and 11 seconds. So GG's for Kuumba and Barnowl as they finished their first match of a possible 3, with Kuumba winning the first set.
Yeah, GG to both runners. It seems that Barnow's love for heat weapon brought him the victory there, so GG's to him for the endurance to continue after so many deaths and to finish the race 47. That's a really good time.
Oh yeah, it's charged heat.
Yeah, it's fully charged heat, yeah.
The Well, that was interesting.
That
Yeah,
was
I believe,
some. That was like.
Barnowl has his.
Did I call Creed from the future? Wow.
No, that's from the past. That's past me.
Barnowl had his microphone on while we were using his sound. He probably listened into the end of the race. Hoping he can mute that. But if it deals with his sound, then I can understand.
Anyway, while our runners prepare for race 2, grab your trash food, grab everything you have, because this is gonna be some tight races. I don't think Barnowl, and I'm gonna overhype this, but as a runner, I don't think Barnowl will make the same mistake on Dragon again. And this is gonna be more interesting than the last race.
So yeah, we're about to get our next seed up and ready. We got our next race channel up. About to get these two right back onto the swing of things, and hopefully we get our next race up in a short time.
Yes, sir. I see the seed's been distributed, so Just waiting for these guys to reset their timers and get ready to go.
Just a little fun extra fact that along with some of the other in-game shenanigans that are randomized in this randomizer, you also get the some of the contents of the title screen are randomized as well. As you can see, we got Super Metroid as our prologue dialogue in in the intro here.
Yeah, and you can see all the weaknesses that you missed. Every mistake that you did, it's on those two screens, last screens. As you can see, for instance, Crash was immune to 5 items this seed. Whole 5 items. He will think off of you. So, yeah.
And in case you guys didn't know, that version of the randomizer presented by Factor 5, not Capcom, because that as well is one of the things that is randomized in the randomizer, the developer of the credits. But shoutouts to Duckfist for sure for creating the randomizer tool to allow all of us to be able to make endless playability for Mega Man 2.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree, and I'm very grateful to Duckfist for his contribution in this Mega Man community, and not only with this randomizer, but with many other things as well. I even got my randomizer on my consoles. A randomizer, I generate seeds and I put them on my consoles. It's that good. You get endless experience of fun. Presented by Factor 5, by the way, not by Duckfist or Capcom.
We also should note that after this race, there's actually going to be another race coming up almost immediately after this match is over. So, once the Kuumba barnowl match is settled, we're actually going to have one more race between 2 more competitors, JVeth and Squidman. So stay tuned, because there's going to be still more Mega Man 2 rando action. It's going to be an all-night affair. So, as I say, sit tight and stay tuned.